Nintendo 2DS. I have seen everything. Hello, and welcome to the Life of a Gamer. Now, I haven't done this in a while, and I'm not putting it on a new channel, keeping it on this channel, not doing it daily. But I decided to talk about something like a screw-up. Not even like a screw-up. I'm talking about a screw-up. A big screw-up. By Nintendo. Now, this is the company that's brought us classics like Mario, Zelda, all these other classics. GameCube, even though that's really not a classic at this point. Still, great console of the GameCube. And even brought us the 3DS. But no, Nintendo couldn't just keep their minds sane. They had to go a little insane and make the Nintendo 2DS a abomination. Actually, I said a abomination. An abomination of the 3DS name. And calling it another person in the family of the Nintendo 3DS. Okay, let's look at the marketing points on this 3DS. It basically plays 3DS games, but it plays it in 2D, so we're just going to act like you can't just take your 3DS and just slide that slider all the way down. No, we're going to act like that's just not there. B, doesn't have its own line of games, because logically, why would it? If it's going to play 3DS games, you might as well just have it play 3DS games. So that means logically, this thing will never fail, because it's only preying on the 3DS's line of games and the DS's line of games. But you know, the weirdest thing is, about the DS line of games, Nintendo advertises that it can play over 5,000 DS titles. I don't know if that's just supposed to astound us, or is that stating that it can't play all DS games? Because with Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo knew the launch titles were going to be terrible, so they said, yeah, you can play all your existing DS games on this. So how come Nintendo 2DS is just at 5,000? Or unless that's just, a marketing ploy to say, oh, you can play over 5,000 games on this thing. I guess that is. But why can't you close it? You can't close it. And I can't stress this enough, how stupid this is. Every DS has been able to close. Every DS, from the first DS to the 3DS to the 3DS XL to everything. Every DS has been able to close. And it pauses your game, and it's something great. Nintendo even monopolized on this by giving you Street Pass and Spot Pass while this thing is closed in sleep mode. But why is Nintendo not allowing you to close it anymore? Now it's just kind of like this weird, I don't know, like the metal part of the axe. It's like this weird design that doesn't even look like it was even contrived by anyone who even knows anything about Nintendo. This thing sucks. It sucks. And when I say sucks, I mean this thing sucks. Just the premise of just being like, oh, well, it plays all your 3DS games, but just in 2D. What? So what's the point? Why not just buy a 3DS that's $40 more? That's not a lot. That's about a 3DS game right there. So basically, the price of getting a Nintendo 2DS with a 3DS game is about the price of just getting a Nintendo 3DS, which you might as well do anyway, because it can play the games in 3D. I don't see what the point is of playing at a 3DS game when you can't even play in 3D, because that's why it's called a 3DS game, because you can play it in 3D. It doesn't make any sense to me why Nintendo would release this abomination and not make something good. Like, if you want to, like, this is advertised as an entry-level system. Now, for those who don't know what an entry-level system is, it's basically advertised as someone's first game system. Let's say, little Timmy, it's finally his birthday, or his holiday, or Halloween, since this thing's coming out October 12th, for whatever logical reason. 10 days away from Sonic Lost World, by the way. And let's say little Timmy wants to get started in video games. He's never picked up a game before, so he's going to pick up this abomination and think that it's a game system. No, anyone who buys this doesn't know what a video game should be, or what it has been, or anything about games. Like, I expect this to be an April Fool's joke by someone on the internet until I went on Nintendo's website and saw it myself. This thing, even just saying that it's, even just making it exactly like the 3DS, and just having it only play in 2D, that even sounds like a joke to me. It sounded like a joke to my friend when I told him about it. I messaged him, I'm like, okay, hey, there's a Nintendo 2DS, you ever heard of it? And he's like, oh, you're joking, right? I'm like, no, I sent him a link to it. Yeah, it's real. What? Let's talk about the design of it. Now, obviously, I don't have the Nintendo 2DS. I'll probably show it up on the screen if I care to show it up on the screen. But just look at this thing. Let's compare it to the Nintendo 3DS, the good system. And yeah, I have Sonic Generations is. It's a good game. Anyway, let's compare it. So, number one, it's not going to be like this. You can't bend it because it's not like there's actually two parts of the system. No, it's all awkwardly one. And it's even more awkward than having this thing stand straight up. You see that? It's more awkward than this. You're not going to be able to, like, bend it to your liking, which was good for the 3D effects. But I guess since Nintendo says, hey, you don't need to bend it for the 3D effects, guess what? You don't need to bend it at all. I don't get it. With the 3DS, you had Street Pass and Spot Pass, which only work in sleep mode, which means you need to close the system for Street Pass. But you can't do that on a Nintendo 2DS. You can't. They won't let you. It's not like they're going to come out with some adaptation that's going to allow you to close it. No, you're stuck that way. Which makes it even worse, because if you drop the Nintendo 3DS, if I just went and I dropped this, it's not going to break. Well, there's a low possibility of it breaking, because all the screens are, I'm not going to say protected, but are better protected because it's closed and the system's closed. But if you have it like this and you drop it, you have a higher chance of not only one screen breaking, but two screens breaking. Why? Why can't I close it? The only other way, instead of closing your device, to get in sleep mode is by pressing the power button. And I mean pressing it, not holding it. Just by tapping it once, it puts it into sleep mode. And even guides you and tells you to close the system or turn it off, and puts the power off down there. But for Nintendo 2DS, you just have to tap it once and just hope that nothing even remotely puts pressure on the little button that says power off, so you can get your Street Pass and Spot Pass. Why? Basically saying Street Pass and Spot Pass are useless, because they don't come up whenever this thing isn't in sleep mode. It can only work when it is in sleep mode. So why even have Street Pass Me Plaza? Why even have updates? You might as well just abandon everything, stop calling it the 2DS, stop calling it the 3DS, and just call it an abomination. Let's talk about the headphone jack. Now, see, this is really a nitpick for me. This is just kind of like what I'm saying, but I like how the 3DS's headphone jack, like earphone jack, is right in the center. It's right in the center. That way, if you want to plug in your earphones, you can just take them out and right here. And that's good, because this thing has Netflix. So when you have it on the charging station, you can just be like this, have it open like that, and just listen to your earphones right there. Listen to them right there. But no, they couldn't do that. They couldn't have it that easy. They just had to put it off on the side. And now, some people might be criticizing me on, like, why are you talking about how the 2DS has earphone jack on the side? Okay, here's a better question. Why put it on the side? What advantage are we getting to having this thing on the side than just keeping it where it is? The mic isn't even down here now. No, it's over here. Like, actually here. Because this thing has the worst design in the history of the world. Look at this. Okay, this is a 3DS. When you put your hands on it, and I don't know how to convey this really, but when you put your hands on it, it's right here. So when you're looking at all the controls and everything, you're looking at the touch screen. So you just move your head slightly up so you can see the 3D screen, which is perfect. Because everyone can just move their head up. It's not like you have that much of a problem. What I have a problem with is that all the controls on the Nintendo 2DS are like awkwardly at the middle. So you're staring at the 3D screen. You gotta awkwardly look down at the 2D screen. You know how stupid that's gonna look in public? You know how stupid that's gonna look in general? I don't even know how anyone in Nintendo thought of this. How they thought of this, let alone that one guy who had the thought actually got passed, and no one second-guessed this. No one said, you know what? Maybe that's a bit awkward. Like, even if you're going to make a system, even if you're going to say, okay, you know what? Let's have the 3DS, and let's just take out the 3D. which doesn't make it part of the 3DS family, by the way. If you're just going to say that, why not keep the same design? Why not keep the thing that everybody loves about the 3DS? Even though there probably are some people who hate it, why make it even more awkward? Why make it so you can't close it? Why make it so that Street Pass and Spot Pass are irrelevant? Why make it bad? Why make it putrid? Why make it terrible? Why make it just... I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it and say this is going to be the biggest bomb since the Virtual Boy, if not bigger. Because everyone knows that this thing is going to be terrible. The only problem is it's not going to be abandoned because Nintendo can make as much as they want. They're not. It's not like the Virtual Boy where they have their own line of games. This thing just preys off the existing line of games. It's not getting its own set. So there's really no reason to cancel it other than the fact that no one's going to buy it. No one is going to buy it. If you're going to buy it, you don't know anything about games. You don't. You don't. You may think you do. You may want to. You may aspire to become a video game creator, a video game designer, a console creator. You may even be one of those people that creates clone consoles or creates those consoles that are like the GameCube, but they're like portable GameCubes and all that stuff from the Nintoaster, from AVGN. You may think you're like that, but if you buy the Nintendo 2DS, if you think the Nintendo 2DS is even remotely good, then you don't know anything about games. You don't! You don't! I can't express enough how bad this system is. I can't express enough how bad this system is. People are calling this the critical blow to the Nintendo 3DS versus PS Vita campaign. This isn't a critical blow. This is Nintendo shooting themselves in the face after having a great console. I like the Nintendo 3DS. Heck, I love Nintendo 3DS. But why are we getting Nintendo 2DS? Why? It's only $40 less than Nintendo 3DS. And Nintendo 3DS is just $40 less than Nintendo 3DS XL. And even though while I, as a gamer, will advise people, hey, don't get the Nintendo 3DS XL, it's just bigger. You know, just save yourself 40 bucks and just go down to Nintendo 3DS and it's perfect. But I'm never going to say to anyone, hey, save yourself 40 bucks for Nintendo 3DS and go to a console that's part of the 3DS family, doesn't play 3DS, doesn't do anything good, doesn't close, isn't aesthetically possible, and has awkward controls and everything. And another thing is, okay, you see the 3DS, you see how the home button is in the center? And the start and select are on the sides? That's good. I like that. But I don't see why the home button's down here and the start and select buttons are back to the Nintendo DS Lite button format. And they're here. Why? Why have start and select over here and have home down here? Most likely, whenever you're going to be pressing one of them, you just want them next to each other. Like they keep start and select next to each other. Why not home? Why not keep them down here? Why if start and select are up here, even put home down here? You might as well put home here. I don't even see why this thing even needed to exist, let alone why it's so bad, let alone why Nintendo is losing their minds. Whoever thought of this should be fired. They should be fired. There should be no holds bars, nothing. They should be, you thought of this design, you thought of this failure, you should be fired. Out of here. The only thing I should ever say that they shouldn't be fired is that if it was someone like, I don't know, Miyamoto, even though he doesn't do that, even though, okay, if it's someone like Reggie Fils-Aimé, and let's say he thought of this, and no one really wants to talk bad about the CEO, saying like, no one's gonna really tell their CEO, dude, that's a terrible idea. So let's say Reggie Fils-Aimé, he comes up with this, he markets this, he says this is great, he goes on the next Nintendo Direct like, this is the best system in the world. Like, he shouldn't be fired. He should be sent on the vacation. Cause honestly, if you're gonna think of something this bad, you're crazy. You're crazy. It's not even like you're crazy as in like, okay, maybe you're just a little bit crazy, or maybe he's on the line. No, you're all the way gone. You need a vacation. You need to be fired. You need to do whatever it is. I can't even express how bad this thing is. But Nintendo is just out and proud. How come no one at the Japan Center of Nintendo, at Nintendo of America, at Nintendo of Europe, or wherever they are, how come no one is thinking this is a bad idea? How come no one's idea is like, My spider sense is tingling that this is the worst idea in the history of the world. Why? Why? I'm just saying, why? This thing is so bad, that I can't even believe that a gaming company would think of it. I can't even believe this isn't an April Fool's joke. Why isn't this April? Why can't this be the April Fool's? This should have been the April Fool's joke. This would have been a great April Fool's joke. This would have been amazing if that was April Fool's. If, like, this April they're like, oh, we're announcing the 2DS, and then, everybody's like, ah, ha, ha, thanks, Nintendo, that's funny. But no, not a real thing, not a real announcement, not a real system, not a real member of the 3DS family that doesn't even play 3D and isn't called 3DS anything. I don't even see the point of why you can't even just take this, just slide that down. I don't see the point. Plenty of other people don't see the point too, because I've been seeing rants videos like this ever since this thing was announced. I've even seen one video that's like how to get the Nintendo 2DS early, and all it is just the guy taking this and just sliding it down. And that's my point exactly. If you want the Nintendo 2DS, just take this, buy it. It's only $40 more. It's only $40 more. As I said earlier, it's the cost of Nintendo 2DS and a Nintendo 3DS game. You might as well just buy a Nintendo 3DS and just slide it on down. You might as well just slide it on down. There's no need for this thing to exist. There's no need for this thing not to be an April Fool's joke. I can't express enough how this bad it is. I can't. I can be talking about this. Actually, no, I'm going to paraphrase AVGN here. I can be talking about this for like the next century, and it still won't convey how bad this is. I'm still calling it. It's gonna be as bad as a Virtual Boy. It's gonna be worse if it's not as bad. If it's not as bad as a Virtual Boy, it's gonna be worse. I'm calling it. I'm calling it. No one's gonna buy this. No one. If you're even seen in public with this, you should be publicly shamed. People should look at you and just do this. They should just be like, for shame. For shame. Tisk, tisk, tisk. They should give you, like, all that drama. They should be like, hey, did you hear about Johnny? Yeah, I heard about Johnny. He got a Nintendo 2DS. Yeah, right. What's wrong with him? Is he losing his mind? Is he losing his marbles? I don't know. They should be ridiculing you. You should be ridiculed if you think this thing is even good, let alone the final blow to the PS Vita. Let alone the final blow. That's just the worst thing I've ever heard. The final blow to the PS Vita? How is this the final blow? How? How does this even compare? This is like the final blow to Nintendo, if anything. If anything, you're going to argue this is the final blow to Nintendo from the PS Vita. Nintendo's killing themselves. They have the gun to themselves, and you're like, hey, we know you guys love us. We know we're like one of the longest video game companies that's still making consoles right now. We've been here since 1985. Actually, no, Nintendo's been making arcade machines. We've been here since whenever. We're going to just kill ourselves now. Nintendo, and this is Nintendo 2DS commercial here. Like, I want to show you the commercial. I want to show you the commercial and show you how bad it is. Here, I'm going to see. Watch the commercial. Watch the whole thing. The minute and a half. Watch it!
Introducing the newest member of the Nintendo 3DS family. Meet Nintendo 2DS. A handheld gaming system from Nintendo like you've never seen before. Nintendo 2DS is the perfect place to jump in on all the fun that Nintendo handheld gaming has to offer. It plays all Nintendo 3DS games in 2D and is backward compatible with a library of more than 2,000 Nintendo DS games. Connect to the Nintendo eShop to download games, applications, and more. Enjoy multiplayer gameplay with friends and family through a local wireless connection, or take the action online. 2DS brings the fun to you wherever you go. Nintendo 2DS, coming October 12th.
You see that? You see that? Do you even see? Even the actors knew how awkward this was. You know that little kid who was putting it in the little pouch, even he knew it was bad. Even that little kid knew it was bad. He knew it was terrible. He knew it was the worst thing he ever held. He probably was like, I kind of need the money, I guess. It's Nintendo. I shouldn't turn Nintendo down. Like, I don't know why the dad didn't just slap the little kid for getting him to buy it. Or why the dad bought it in the first place. Or why the little kid bought it. Whoever even thinks that this is good. I don't even know how the actors didn't just quit mid-set, mid-screening, mid-shooting. They just quit. They're like, this is too bad for me to work with. I can't have my face be shamed this much. I'm done. I'm out, Nintendo. I'm sorry. We send me a 3DS. Don't send me this piece of badness. Don't send me this. I can't even express it. I'm even running out of illegitimate points. I'm reverting to just repeating the same stuff 5 times over. So let me just sum it all up right here. Let me just sum it up all right here. Nintendo 2DS is the worst thing I've ever heard. And just the fact that it was actually made by Nintendo and is not a joke, and is not a hoax, and is actually a thing that's going to be real is the worst thing in the world. If you have, well, you don't have it. If you are going to get a Nintendo 2DS, if you think the Nintendo 2DS is good, you don't know what gaming is. You don't know what anything is. You shouldn't even be on this video. Why are you on this video? Get off the video. Okay, that's the end of this rant. Done! Oh, and I just realized by watching a trailer, not the one not the announcement video, but the second trailer for it, that they actually have a little slider for sleep mode and, not sleep mode. So, technically, that argument was flawed. So they actually do have Street Pass and all this stuff. But it still wouldn't be better that if you could close the system. Okay, let's go to equipment. We have work pants. Is it me, or is his, I know Luigi wasn't in Super Mario 64, but is Mario's thing from, Super Mario 64? Listen.